Traveling back in time gives us another opportunity, Commander. President Dugan asked me to contact an old friend once we arrived. I hope you're sitting down.
Well, Commander, from what I understand, the future ain't what it used to be. Now, our job is to set it right. According to Executive Order 9066, which, by the way, won't be written for another couple of months. You know, a man could blow a fuse getting his mind around this time travel stuff here. Anyway, the gist of this thing is that we're involved until the bitter end. We got a job to do, son. Lieutenant will fill you in.
Commander, Yuri has taken control of Hollywood using mind control technology. He's begun to use the media to spread subliminal propaganda. Here's a sample, with the subliminal mind control properties filtered out.
We fight a life or death struggle against the powers of capitalism. Only complete faith in Yuri can protect you. Only total compliance will save the lives of you and your family. Empty your mind and submit to my will. The less you know, the better off you will be. I'm Yuri. Obey me.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by. Incoming transmission. Commander, your MCV is in position near the Los Angeles International Airport. You should establish your own base before attempting to locate Yuri's forces. Sir, if you can secure the area around LAX and then get an engineer inside, we will have access to paratrooper reinforcements. Incoming transmission. Commander, the enemy is using a horrifying new technology. This is a grinder. These devices can break down anything, be it mechanical or organic. They're feeding these grinders with captive civilians, reducing them to raw materials used to fund their war efforts. Yuri's clones are not as powerful as the original, but their ability to control minds is a definite threat on the battlefield. Battle control online.
Materials.
New construction options.
Yes, sir! On my way!
Building. You found a movie action hero,
Ready.
Commander.
On my way, sir!
Do you think you could get his autograph for me when you get the chance?
Repositioning.
Incoming transmission.
Let's show them what we got. On the mark, sir.
Some of these Hollywood civilians are pretty tough characters, Commander. They might be able to help you.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Yes, sir!
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the next mission of Yuri's Revenge Ally Campaign. I am Lee Time of 5 Random Guys, and we're in Hollywood. I always wanted to go to Hollywood, but not like this. Anyways, we are faced with somewhat of a new challenge. You may not think the grinders is a big deal, but they are heavily guarded. But they're not too much of the problem getting in there and destroying them. It's actually protecting the base. Now that I have our radar up, you can see that there are four locations where there's a grinder, and the and of course the airport that I need to gain control of. It's not required, but I like to do it because it does help. But yeah, the main issue right now is to build defenses, and I start doing this by garrisoning the buildings surrounding me. This helps a lot on getting rid of the Yuris that come through, or the Yuri clones that come through. Basically, the Yuri clone is just like the Yuri clones from Red Alert 2. They're just no longer being controlled by the Soviet Union. Anyways, I guess I could talk about the the grinders. These are pretty gruesome to think about. Because if you think about it, they are taking infantry units and vehicle units and putting them in this device that grinds them up and recycles the material as currency. Yes, it's pretty gruesome. Now, going against them, they're not too bad. But if you're playing as Yuri in a scrimmage, they are great mind-controlling enemy units and using them.
Sir, our new battle fortress crushes enemy armor that crosses its path while it carries our soldiers to battle. Plus, everyone inside can fire from its many gun ports. Bill, reinforcements have arrived.
Sir! Ready! Yes, sir!
Yay! The battle fortress. This is our new unit for this mission. It's kind of like this version's solution to not having a ground transport. You can kind of have a transport with the IFEs, but they can only transport one unit. And you also have the helicopter units, but they had one gun and it wasn't very good. At least for the yeah, you'll start to see me actually get wiped out here in a second, but that was on. My screen just flashed for some reason. I don't know. It shouldn't pop up later, but yeah, as you can see, I'm pretty much getting wiped out. What was I saying? At least for the Soviets, flak cannon or flak trooper. No, it wasn't the flak trooper. It was the flak tank. Flak trap. They can transport five units at a time, but it did have a pretty decent weapon. At least it was good for anti-air and some ground. But this unit, the Battle Fortress, I just love it. It is so much more better than any of the other transport units. As she had mentioned before, as the lieutenant had mentioned, you could put any unit in there, and they could actually fire out of the ports of this vehicle. If you get fully leveled Guardian GIs and put it in a fully leveled battle fortress, it's pretty much unstoppable. This is the equivalent of having a fully leveled Apocalypse tank on the Soviet side. Or, yeah, on the Allied side, I mean. This thing is very powerful. I don't really give it too much justice in this one. I do build a small force with them, but it's not enough to actually win this campaign or this mission. Now, since this is an expansion pack to Red Alert 2, I'm pretty much am given everything from the last from Red Alert 2. Everything is pretty much available right away, for the most part. As you can see, I already have I can already build a chronosphere, the battle lab, the spy satellite, all that stuff, as well as my better weapons, the prism tanks, the mirage tanks, and all that.
Construction complete.
Aren't you overreacting?
No, I'm not overreacting, Yuri. So yeah, the only things that I don't have quite yet is the weather control device, and I think a couple of more units. But don't worry, I'll get. I soon will be able to build them. But yeah, it's basically you have to have Red Alert 2 to play this game. So if you have Red Alert 2, you probably played it and already know the units, so they pretty much throw you in, get you going. But it introduces the new units and new structures gradually, kinda. I think in like two episodes, you pretty much have everything for the Allied, or 2 more missions, I should say. It might be a third mission. As I mentioned I've mentioned in the Soviet campaign.
Your mind is weak, comrade. You should leave. Quite more angry.
I mentioned in the Soviet campaign for Red Alert 2 that I haven't beat that campaign in a long time. Which is true. But it's been longer for beating Yuri's Revenge. I haven't played this in ages. Where I've gone back and actually played the Red Alert 2. I haven't gone back and played the campaign for this one too much. Mainly because of how much or how quick it is and how much more difficult it is. So yeah, I've struggled with this one. This is actually a second attempt for this mission. The first one, I got overwhelmed really quickly. I didn't realize that they were going to come from all sides. That's why I did what I did now with garrisoning the buildings and putting up prism towers. Of course, I did the prism towers afterwards when I'm like, they kind of got through my forces. Apparently, that one building to the west of my base isn't enough to protect it. But yeah, as you can see, I now have a small force with the battle fortress, and I'm using them to take back the airport. Of course, I wasn't expecting the small group of tanks to come out, which I should probably talk about Yuri's new unit here. Let's see, it was the Gatling tank. It's pretty much a Gatling gun on wheels. It is a light armored vehicle also, but the longer it attacks something, the faster the guns spin and the stronger it becomes. Or the stronger the attacks become. They're pretty powerful. Now, I don't think they're anti-air. They might be.
Structure garrisoned. It looks like Yuri's got the studio filming another dinosaur movie. Yuri's not very creative, is he?
Yes, they can actually fire at the air. So they're pretty much the anti-air tanks. So yeah, now I have the airport, and I can actually call on reinforcements, paratroopers. I built a wall around it. I really wasn't intending to, but I wasn't sure if I could build next to it, so I built the wall just to see, and I was like, oh, I might as well build a wall around it. Yeah, so, but I wanted to check to see if I can do it so I can build a ore refinery right next to it and get this, the ore that's right here. Because if you guys didn't really or really notice, I was running low on money for a while there. So yeah, this was pretty much a slow going process. It took me a while to actually get going and to protect and to start actually doing something. You guys probably didn't, or well, when the war factory got destroyed and Yuri captured one of my battle fortresses, I thought it was done. I thought it was going to destroy everything. Yeah, I used the chronosphere there just to get rid of some Yuris, but yeah, they instantly die. I was gonna quit and it's like, I've got to try this again, but no, I ended up recovering. It took me a while, but I did it.
Lens shifters in working condition.
Thanks for rescuing us, sir. Let's put the rest of Yuri's grinders out of
For
business.
terrain flux.
Reinforcements ready.
Now, I do believe that they've changed stuff since the original release, because I think that actually set the character plate on that unit was actually set.
Machine shop
IFV
captured.
ready.
All vehicles will now auto-repair.
Fast and light.
I think he actually said, or it actually had Sylvester Stallone on there. And some of the other characters was like Clint Eastwood, James Bond, and stuff like that. But I think they changed him to something different, like Bodyguard or Action Hero or something like that. But I'm not too sure. I don't have an original copy. My father does. So I might have to check that later at a later date. I'll let you guys know. It was like, anyways, that's. I think that was 2 grinders down. I think I'm working on the next one now. But yeah. I captured another tech building. This one is a new tech building, and this one auto repairs all my vehicles. So yeah, if you guys were wondering about the service depot utility that I could capture, they still have them in this. It's not as often now. It's not as often in most of the maps, or at least most of throughout the campaign. Mainly because when they introduced the machine shop, there's no point with the service depot now, because you build your service depot pretty much instantly. This is actually the first time you can build up a base, so yeah. You can build a service depot yourself pretty easily. They do have them in the scrimmages, or the scrimmage maps. I don't think they have them at all in any of the campaign maps, but we'll find out as we go along. There is a hospital in this map, and you probably saw it for a glimpse second, but it's so close to the enemy base that it's like pretty much useless to me. You also probably noticed I used the chronosphere to take some of their units and drop them off into the water. That's a strategy that my father actually thought of. the chronosphere works with enemy units just as well as with your unit. So you can actually, and I think I might have talked about this in Red Alert 2, but you can actually pick up enemy units and transport them out to like the sea, so that their tanks will sink, and vice versa. You can actually chronosphere enemy ships onto land and will destroy them instantly. It's a really nice way to get rid of a small force that's about to come your way, and you'll see me do it again later on in this mission too, with one of their vehicles.
Calculate.
Arrest unit, sir. Let's put the rest of Yuri's grinders out of business.
Squared away, sir! Squared away, sir! Double time! Hooah!
Reinforcements ready.
Prison tank in order.
Nice going, Commander. Yuri won't be using civilians to fund his war machine any longer. Maybe they'll make a movie about you after all this is over. New mission objective received. Unit lost.
Alright, I did have a little bit of trouble trying to get that unit to go back to my base, but other than that, all's good. Yeah, so I destroyed the last grinder, so I don't have to worry about them. And now, as you can see, I'm going in to finish off the base, so I would talk more about his structures and stuff, but there's not too much to talk about. You got your construction yard, which I destroyed, that was in the middle of the walls. Those were his power plants. You got his battle lab, or he doesn't have the battle lab. Not yet. He has a war factory and barracks. And then, of course, that's his radar, basically. I will talk about more about his units or his structures later, though. But again, most of them are self-explanatory. So yeah, pretty much for the rest of this mission, I'm just going through and destroying the rest of their units and base and stuff. He does have a small little base on the west coast of there, but I have to go destroy them too. One thing I do want to mention, you might have noticed that there was a couple of units that just suddenly became mine after I destroyed destroyed something. Instead of an ore refinery, he has a slave miner. This slave miner, it's pretty much a building he can move. You just move it towards to an ore patch, and slaves will actually go out, pick up the ore, bring it into the patch. But if you destroy the ore,
Mission accomplished.
or slaver, then all the slaves become free and they become yours. But anyways, that was it. I beat that mission. So yeah, it took a little bit longer than it should have, but that's just me trying to recover. Anyways, that's it for this mission. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. And thank you, Inu, for the outro. Have a good night, guys.